go ahead and hit those reaction buttons for us and share it out, guys. We got a great show. We have a great third chair guest for you guys tonight, and it's going to be a real good show. We're going to have the certified segment, which is going to have two separate parts tonight. So
A
stay tuned
two-part,
for that. Two
a
parts.
two-parter. Oh, you know what? I meant to play this. We're gonna play this, and then we're gonna bring up our guest for tonight.
And yeah,
Guys, if you don't know it already, you will be hearing it more and more from us. But the show is definitely now brought to you by your friend Matt Anderson, and he just happens to work at your CBD store, and he happens to sell SunMed products. Matt Anderson, the man. See, Stevo's got some right there. Here we go, guys. We're gonna play this, and then we'll get our guest up for tonight. All right, everybody. Kim Axtell. Hello. Hello. Hello.
welcome, 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 Kim.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Indoor Farmer Monday nights. It's great to have you, that's for sure.
Great to be
Yeah.
here. Thanks.
Thanks for coming in for us and helping out as our third chair. As you know, a table needs three legs, so we try to invite somebody in on our Monday night show to give us another angle, give us a bit of support, maybe to keep with the analogy. But yeah, so it's going to be a good night. Actually, got a good video for you. Did a lot of work today, and I have some work to do tonight. Actually, after the show, I have some more to do. I don't want to feed too soon because my ladies are not as dried out as I'd like them to be. So we're going to get there, but we're going to play my segment like it goes. I don't know if you've got the rundown yet, but we're going to play my video here. We usually stop for the intermission. And I
JB's here.
just saw him pop in. I saw Fulton right there. How's it going, brother? We got JB in the house. Definitely got our thoughts with you, brother.
For sure.
And anyway, then we have the certified segment after that,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna do a little questioning of you a little bit. Do a little straight up interview segment for Kim after that, guys. So let's pull up my video. It's about 24 minutes, so it's not short. So there's some radishes, guys. I'm just sort of eating those now. It's not really something I can go and sell. So I wanted to pause it right here because I want to point out to some that this is a practice. This is a experiment. This is a let me mess around kind of a setup. This is not the thing that I'm going to be growing commercial stuff from. And this is like I need to redo all of this because those drains get clogged a lot. But some of those greens are not growing that well. That's because this whole system, the pH has been off for quite a while. But you can see hey, look at this handsome guy.
Yeah.
You can see the peppers are loving it though. The peppers are loving that aquaponics water. Here's me cleaning out so like I probably do things that don't make any sense when it comes to getting to money or what's the word, like efficiency as far as dollars go. But when I look at the soil, I'm like, okay, there's a bunch of sweet pea like stems growing in that soil. I'm like, let me pull all those stems out, feed those to the worms, and then the soil I reuse by mixing it in with a for my potatoes that you'll see later on. So like I want to reuse it because it's there, but it probably doesn't make any sense to take the time to do this in the long run. We'll see.
Well, it's an experiment, some of the smaller experiments are what's going to help you on the grander scale whenever you decide and have the funds to upgrade. I mean, you've already started with the light from our friends at Hydro Farm with that T5 light, and little by little, man. I mean, you're just building it up, and these experiments are worth it, I think. And
Well, I
very
appreciate that. Yeah, because it's almost like I'm doing what I can with what I got, and so I don't have the funds to really be like, okay, it's cheaper just to buy another bag of soil or whatever. It's not cheaper because I don't have that extra $20 to throw at soil.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, so the potatoes, to be honest, man, the potatoes are super hardy. Like they don't care about used soil. I give them water from the aquaponics from the fish tank, and they get used soil. You're going to see that here a little bit later in the video. Kim, have you
Yes.
have you ever grown any veggies?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we'll ask you
I've
about
been
that.
gardening since I was 3.
Oh wow, all right. Have you? So my mom, I run into points where I'll tell my mom, "Hey, I'm growing this," and she says, inside?" And she'll be like, "In that or in the water? That grows in the." She doesn't believe me sometimes when I'm like, "Yeah, this grows in the water." If it's a root vegetable, usually that's not a thing I try to do in the water. It's not a good idea. But potatoes and carrots and things like that really love the aquaponic. They love that fish water. That's all I've had to do. I don't give them anything else. Crazy.
So are you growing those in soil and just adding the fish water?
Yes.
Or
Yep. Use soil. It's just like soil I use I get from the cannabis or from these microgreen flats that you see me messing with here. You're gonna see it here in a minute. I have a big bin that I'm growing a ton of potatoes. I buried a bunch of them. It's I don't know if I did enough or not enough. We'll see. Because the whole trick is if you're gonna grow potatoes in a container. Cheers wedding cake. Okay, Facebook user. Is that
sounds
Kenny?
good.
Kenny Gold, I'm glad. Okay. Michelle, hello. Joe Kelly, that's right. Indoorfarmer.locals.com. Guys, we had an awesome game night last night. I don't know if you're on the list or not yet to play, but damn, I'd be making sure I'm on the list. that's just me.
Even on the nights that it's not your turn to play. Like for me last night, it wasn't my turn to play, but man, I had a blast watching people win and seeing.
And you still won. That's what I want to push off to people. Like
too.
You still won $20 plus something else, wasn't there?
It was the hashtag Elisa May gave me the Yoda pipe.
Yes, the Yoda pipe plus $20.
Yeah, I was a double banger winner last night, guys. I was sweeping, but that was due to the generosity of the wonderful Elisa May and also the generosity of the donators, the sponsors.
Right. Man,
so
that's crazy. $20, like that's almost a whole year. That's almost a whole year.
That came from grassroots, Alan.
So this is me putting in some peat moss. A little bit of peat moss.
And so you're doing that to bring the pH down, is that correct?
Yes. Yes, Kim.
So are you trying to like reuse your soil? Is that the purpose of everything?
It's not necessarily the purpose of why I'm doing that. I just do that because the potatoes seem to not mind it. Like I've done it before, and I feel like they're growing pretty good in it. So it does seem to be a good way to reuse it. Like and I'll be honest, I've done reused soil for the cannabis as well if I didn't have anything else. And depends on if I care about the cannabis plant, if I'm growing that. If it's like a no name, I don't even know what clone or something like that. Like I have a couple of clones from an old plant that I had originally that I don't really care much about. they are growing, and I've used some used soil in there. And I don't know, maybe it's a bad idea overall, but it's just something
Well, I'm starting to do that because, I've only been growing like just at 2 years, and soil's expensive. I use Happy Frog, and that's, I don't know what any other soil
Yeah.
costs, but it's expensive. It's like $20 for one of the bigger bags is the cheapest I can find it. But I watched some segments, like I watched Mr. Grow It and Build a
Look at that.
Soil and all of those guys. And they've had different people on, and some of them we're talking about reusing soil. So I got one of those big plastic swimming pools, like a kiddie pool,
I'm throwing this
and
away. Go ahead.
I'm gonna start
No.
throwing my used soil in there, and then like throwing all my compost stuff in there, and
Oh, for sure.
redoing
If you do
and
that, if
growing
you
my
combine
soil.
if you put them together, and what I do is I'll put some in with the worms, and the worms are making more soil too, and the worms are like a good way to compost a lot of stuff. But real quick, these are plants that I've had them in there for a long time, and they just aren't coming back, SteveO. I think that shock from the pH being too high. These were the plants. These are the last few that I had hopes for coming back. They're not coming back. But
Well,
as you can see, there's other plants that are thriving in there. What's
it's
up?
too bad though because those roots were really
They
they
seemed
really grew,
okay,
but
right? They
the
seemed all right.
vegetation just wouldn't catch up and do
Mm-mm.
what it needed to do. You know.
Looks like you got nutrients blocking pH. The pH is high, Ronaldo. It's not
It
9.
really,
It's under 8 now. It was at 8, but I have fish in here, so you can't just use pH up and pH down. So the only thing I found so far was peat moss, but Ash Grows was telling me that they do have an organic safe liquid. I don't know if he has it, but hold on, let me pause that. I want to pause it at this bin here because I want to know what you guys think. This bin, whether I should fill it with RO water and pH it all at once. And then I have a big bin of it, but then it would be like I'd have to find some way to cover it, keep it covered. Maybe there's like a stretchy bin cover out there or something.
you'll find a piece of siding in the garage.
Hey, you know what? Listen. Just because I
Whatever
remember
works.
the Sanford and Son theme song doesn't mean yeah. No, I like to repurpose stuff, and I usually I wipe it down with like germ wipes or whatever. But
Yeah, you do a good job.
but
With what you
yeah, I mean, I feel I keep getting annoyed with this. So I have a big barrel that's a collapsible barrel. I was filling it up. Supposed to be a collapsible rain barrel, but I use it in my basement. And I filled it with RO water, and it was leaking. I'm like, oh crap, man! I can't just let RO water leak out. It's not cheap.
no.
No.
Just use an
Can
old
I
slider window. Huh. What's
can I
up,
ask
Kim?
why you're filling it with RO water to pH? What are you gonna do with it?
Because because I have more plants to water. I'm gonna have more. I need a bigger method than one bucket at a time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Something faster than
Well,
one.
just keep in mind that your pH, if you pH it, that pH isn't going to stay the
I
same.
know. Yeah, I
over
hear that.
time.
I what I would do is I would pH it, use a bunch of it that day, and probably fill it back up, and knowing that the pH will be off at that time anyway. So leave it. Well, I don't know why I need. Oh yeah, I'll fill it back up because of the RO water takes so long to get to fill up.
I have a
Yeah.
suggestion for you, Waylon.
Yeah,
What about getting a bubbler and brewing your wizard tea in it?
yeah, I thought about doing that too. That's a good idea. Getting some newts going on for sure.
But it only lasts a couple days, though. The wizard tea, I believe.
You're supposed to brew it for 24 hours.
Right, and then I think it's good for 72 hours, maybe.
Huh.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
You have to use it pretty quick.
It'll burn up, Ronaldo. Yeah, that makes sense. Garden will grow, Waylon. Thanks, Kenny. Guys, share us out. Tag some friends if you don't mind. I would appreciate it. Kim, you're welcome to link your account as well. You are the guest, so it's you should be your content as well. You know. John Doe crying. I don't know if I've ever seen John Doe crying.
Oh no, John, what's going on? Someone
What's the
take
matter,
your
bro?
pizza?
Somebody take your pizza? Is that what you said?
Did it not come within 30 minutes?
What's up, Jeremy? No, is it Master Splinter?
30 minutes or less.
So this is supposed to have fish in it, though. I want to use. So I don't want to put any. Actually, yeah, I got to keep it kind of clean. But look at this. That's just a cutting, bro. I just cut that off.
They're nice and white. Yeah.
They love it, man. These pepper plants love the aquaponics water. Look at these. They're just dense. They look like they're going to sprout cannabis buds any minute. Look at this bud at the top. I feel like I might be able to smoke that eventually.
We probably find out that those pepper plants thrive on higher pH or something, you know.
That, or well, I think it's that the water is very nutrient rich right now, since not everything's able to uptake it. So no, okay. Let me say you're probably right that they can uptake at a higher pH, which is allowing them to thrive. So I got broccoli. What was the first one? I forget. We got some arugula. We got some more radish. What was the first one, though? It was
broccoli.
No, there was one right before that. Sweet pea, or speckled peas. They're sweet. I don't know why they don't just say sweet peas. I guess they're called speckled peas. Do y'all talk to your plants? I try, Kenny.
Arugula.
Like hot dog water. What's up, Jeremy Phelps? What's up, brother? Remember so I got me some seed. You see that, but I'm afraid to start just growing a whole bunch. I'm gonna cover it up because there's grow light nearby. I actually have a big a plate with a bunch of seeds coming from different fruit and veggies from the kitchen that came from the grocery store or whatever that I just saved for the heck of it to see what happens. And I'm pretty sure I have a peach pit growing. So I'm going to check that out. Look, that's a sweet pea or sweet potato. I'm sorry. Here's some regular potatoes that are just, they ate themselves. Okay, so there's my bin. There's the big bin.
They look healthy.
Oh yeah, they're loving life down there, and they don't even have that much soil. So today I decided it's time to fill them back up. Even though there's a bunch of little ones down there, I just buried those basically. This is real time, normal speed, guys. This is my normal speed. Just kidding. I'm so funny.
That's a big ass room, man. I can't wait to see that all painted, done up, lights everywhere from one end to the next.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it look like a Dan Baird spaceship.
Yep.
Mushroom spaceship down there. I do have a bunch of panda film, and that's gonna be like a nice, like, super white wall that I can like clean with wipes and stuff. And I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. I have a big roll of it, but it unrolls and then it unfolds and stuff. So it's not just like it's not going to be an easy process for me by myself. Yeah, so that's kind of my dirty section over here on the left, and I have plants flowering over there on the right, but I don't care too much about them, I guess, but I need to close in that space over there. I need to close it in.
All right, Glock Store. I'm going to block you if you do it again. Yep. That's it.
Get him. Get him. It's on Facebook.
You're blocked.
Well, he's...
If you come into my thing, I will block you out.
If you come into my chat, I will take you down.
Click, fat, pig, fat.
Thanks, Fulton, for that line. Credit goes to Fulton Blocks.
That's right. That's a good one. I like that song.
We'll have him up. We'll have him up next week if he's
That's right.
ready for it.
A little
I can
ode
make
to
you
our
some
friend.
hot dog water, ice cubes. Please try them. Well, John, hand them to me in person, and we got a deal.
Do you have
here
problems?
we go.
Do you have
Go ahead.
problems with bugs down there?
Those are not
Like-
bugs. That is
No.
soil flying around.
Oh, but do you get
No.
aphids or anything?
No.
Oh, that's good.
I use Prime Superior.
Mhm.
It's a Bavarian Bassiana. It creates a mycelial layer that boosts the plant's immune system.
Oh, that's cool.
The worst I've ever seen you have is a couple spiders. Now, not mites, but just a couple.
I have had spider mites, and it took
have you?
care of those. It took care of those. It took
Oh,
them away.
that's right, you did. Okay.
The reason is I waited too long between treatments. I have to treat more often. Like, you got to do it at least once a week, and sometimes I'll be lazy and forget or whatever. But I'll be on it more now, especially that I'm in a grow off and whatnot. So, it's something that I have to get better at myself. But those are the only real reasons I've had problems. I knew immediately that it's like, yeah, I've been neglecting. I know that was probably the issue. And when I get on top of it, and here's the thing about Prime Superior, you can do a sort of concentrated dose. You can switch from, like, you can do the normal dose, what it says, I think 3 milliliters per gallon. But then you can do a sort of extra strong dose, hit it strong. And what that does, it's crazy, Kim. I don't know if you've seen the show, The Last of Us, but it turns all the bugs into the mushroom, into the mycelium, like, takes over the insects.
Oh, that's crazy.
I don't think that they walk around like a hive mind after that or anything like that, but it pretty much kills them. You know what? No one asked you to come down here.
Is that Sir Dukas?
No.
No.
They both come down here now. You're not supposed to be down here. That's why the spider mites come in the first place. It's these dogs.
Yeah, they bring them in, yeah.
18 people in the house, guys. Hit that reaction button. Only 8 reactions. Come on, guys. You love us more than that. You love us more than that. Speaking of that, guys, I want to put something out there. I want to see SteveO get some more follows over there on Locals, man.
Oh,
you don't have to pay for the follows. If you're already a Locals member, for me, just hop over, Siir SteveO, SIIR. You can find him, and it's a quick, easy follow. It's free.
Yeah, it's the Certified Army, guys.
Yeah.
If you search for it, it'll show up.
Now, guys, if you're watching this, I should have been less lazy and went and got my mask, because this is one good time that the masks are very useful and probably should have been used, but instead I powered through it. Not smart. So what I did was I was taking apart an older a cannabis plant, as you saw, mixing that soil in with some of that soil you saw me take from the microgreen trays, and then putting in some fish water, mixing it all up, pouring it in with the potatoes, and they're going to be happy as can be.
Mm-hmm. There's even your unamended soil from your old plants and stuff you can put on top of the potatoes, right?
Yeah, it doesn't need amendments, because I'm pouring in there everything that it could need. It's the stuff in your fish tank, the live stuff, is not even the same stuff you're going to get in like more. There's all sorts of preserved like brands that have a product. There's multiple out there that have a product that's fish emulsions or something like that. But they have to do certain things to make that product last longer, and and usually that means losing some of those beneficials. And it's coming directly from the tap here,
Yeah.
It is a little bit higher pH, but the potatoes don't seem to care. You gained some knowledge from this grow. Thanks, Ronaldo. Did I? Are you asking me, Ronaldo? Yeah, I always do. I try. Joe Kelly, can you post a link for me? What link are we talking about?
What
Yeah,
link?
please, baby, I love you too, but you know, you weren't like this all day. It's because she hears me
Locals.
talking to someone. Oh, she's trying to find you over there. Yeah, what is it, guy? What is it, SteveO? Like, mine is the indoorfarmer.locals.com. Like, what's your
I believe it's certifiedarmy.locals.com.
certifiedarmy.locals.com? You should put that underneath you. You got the indoor farmer hashtag certified army underneath you. You could fix that sometime.
Okay.
Yeah, this is me just mixing her up. I need something, this isn't very industrial. I need to get something better. I want something I can just like spin and mix, like one of those what do you call them? Compost mixers. The compost mixers that you get outside. They have there's these big mixers that you put the compost in a door, and then the whole thing mixes like a dryer or something.
Yeah.
Spins.
It's got a crank.
Yeah. Yep. My mom has one. I don't know how easy they are to use, but I definitely like keeping the compost. But I usually feed it to the worms, or I have a little project out in my yard I'm messing with. I think it's time for bong rips and wedding cakes. Well, okay, throw me some wedding cakes there, Kenny. Mia, you're really bugging the heck out of me. You're not gonna, you're gonna wait until I'm done. This video's done. We got 5 minutes. You can wait. Sit. Good girl.
Hey, if you decide to get a composter, one of those that turns, make sure and read the reviews on them, because some of them are not very well built.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely want a good one too. Timothy, what's up? He said it's from the soil, not bugs. It's from the soil. What's from the soil? Good night, y'all. Peace. Have a good night, Ashley.
Good night.
Stuff for now.
Good night.
Gracie's to bed. Oh yeah, putting those kids to bed. Yep. Tonight I'm kid free. We do that every other night. So Rasta Rhino in the house. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Rasta?
Rasta, share us out, bro. Tag some friends. Build your own. Jimmy, build my own what? John said you have mosquitoes down. Oh no, those aren't mosquitoes. Yeah, you're right, Timothy. Thanks, bro. Yeah, it's just like it's super dry and there's a lot of airflow. So it's sped up video too. So the camera's catching these like microscopic dust even before I was messing with the soil. But anyway, yeah, I had to blow my nose after this. That's for sure. Compost mixer. Oh, okay, Jimmy. I thought about that. Put like a bucket. If you could just have a bucket with a lid, and I have lids, you put the soil in the bucket with the lid, turn it on its side, and spin it somehow. It would be kind of what I'm looking for, just like a cement mixer kind of thing that just kind of gets soil mixing. Then actually, if you turn it not all the way on its side like a cement mixer, then you could leave the lid off and you could sort of mix it by hand as it's turning. I don't know how I would turn it though. Anyway, ideas, guys, ideas. Sometimes it's just easier to buy a thing that's already a thing, or to look at them and use their ideas. It's Limp Bizkit album.
Churn.
50-gallon. Oh, Jimmy's got a few 50-gallon drums. Mia, Mimi, go. Bike parts, yeah, some cranks and whatnot. What'd you say, Kim?
I don't remember.
That's okay.
My stepdad used to use a drill motor and I don't know what he put on the end of it to like stir things like in a big bucket like that, but it was more liquefied. I don't know if you would want to do something like that. in dirt.
Yeah, that's the only problem when you're mixing soil. You want it to be moist, but not that much. You want it to. So you probably already know this, but they say that you want it to clump in your hand almost like a snowball. But when you let your fingers open, it kind of breaks into like a few pieces. It kind of cracks open again. It doesn't fully stay all the way. Like I don't know. Does anyone have a better way to describe that? Grassroots, what's up, bro? Chance,
What
what's up?
what is it you're wanting to know though exactly?
Like the moisture level of soil when you're mixing soil to add to something.
Oh,
Don't you want it to be? You want it to be a little moist. You want to be able to clump
yeah,
it in your hand, almost like a snowball. Wouldn't put it where it doesn't stay
yeah.
whole.
It makes sense to me that it would make it easier to mix, and it would be healthier for the soil as well, I think.
Michelle says she would do it by hand as well. It makes her feel more connected to the plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like getting my hands in there too, And honestly, I always thought growing indoors, I honestly thought it was going to be at table height, you know, down, instead of down on my knees. And here I was down on my knees in the dirt, still
Mhm.
inside. And then like that was definitely not what I planned. I'm going to back up just a hair. So I moved the potatoes over here because I realized my cannabis plants where they were sitting, they are on flower cycle. So they're only on 12 and 12. So these potatoes were kind of getting shorted a little bit. I mean, a little bit stronger light as well. So I got them over here in this room a little bit between other lights. So they're getting that 18-hour cycle anyway. I think it's not necessarily a big deal either way, but I have another light. I can let out. You know what? You're gonna go out as soon as the video's over. Okay. These are my ladies outside. That's Mia's trying to tell you. What's up, John? So there's a smaller one there, SteveO, but she's bushing a little bit. But this one though, man, this one is going to be a good harvest.
Oh yeah.
That's a sativa right there.
Oh, definitely. It couldn't. It would defy everything we know. I would say if it's not. Yep. Because that one's straight up exactly the leaves that I would expect. Yeah.
Pretty skinny, right? That
structure.
We might have
with like 3 trees growing up from the bottom. Like they all split out at the early on. Look at this one. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh yeah, that's a nice.
It's like Spaceballs. You guys remember Spaceballs where the ship just keeps going over the top? Look at that thing.
Is that your house in the background, Waylon?
No, my neighbors.
What do they think about your grows?
They're pretty old. They know me enough that they know I'm a disabled veteran. This is my medicine. It's not something that bothers them anyway.
That's cool.
It's because I'm not you guys, you have to realize you can't just be like a shut-in closet cannabis user, because then you're just paranoid all the time. You gotta be able to explain to people that it's it's another thing. And that's why I do this on screen. That's why I allow it on screen. I don't try to let the show devolve into just a sesh anymore, at least until we're done. But I am actually we're going to start the certified segment while I let her out, SteveO, because I don't even think she needs out. She just doesn't like me talking to the screen.
All right, do what you got to do, bro.
All right, here we go, guys. You know what time it is. We'll play some music later, maybe, but right now we got the.
Be advised, the following content is rated S for certified.
Welcome, everybody, to the Certified Segment. This is show number 99, and today we're going to take a look at a couple different things. Oh, and it's Monday, August 21st. First of all, I'd like to welcome our special guest today, Kim, the Legit Bean Review. You guys should check out that group. It's a real good group, good giveaways, good resources for some seeds and information as well. And anyways, we've got a couple things for you guys. I'm going to bring this up. Oh, and thanks to Waylon. While you guys are over there at Locals, if you give me a follow, it's free. It's certifiedarmy.locals.com. Just hit the button. If you do decide that you want to join as a subscriber, your first month is free. It's on me. Just use the code certified in the entry code place there, whatever you call it. But anyway, tonight I've got a video showing you the one lonely outdoor plant that is left still from the grow that I'm testing these beans for misfit genetics for Mike Hood. This one's called Triple Homicide. As you guys know, I started off with 7 beans, and they've been through hell. They got dug up 2 or 3 weeks ago, now probably from the groundhog. And then I had 2 left. One last week you guys saw. It's a boy, so we got rid of that one. So this is the one lonely female left. Let me hit the volume button on that. There we go. Needed water, guys. Not going to lie. Probably should have watered her yesterday. But got to the watering today. She's still nice and green, just a little droopy. She'll look great tomorrow. Those fan leaves will start going up and down, pumping that water up. By the way, if anybody has any questions, go ahead. Not that there's much. This is the one that broke off that I literally stuck it right back into the soil. So we're going to get a couple buds off there. Yeah.
Yes.
This is something that Waylon taught me. Never give up on these little guys and just stick them back in the soil. Let's see if they grow.
Give them a shot. Give them a second chance anyway. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. She doesn't look the greatest, but we had a heat advisory, and we still do the rest of this week. So I would suggest getting some water out on your plants outside, guys. I need to get some on mine as well.
Yeah, she's getting some good sun there.
Hi, Terry.
For the
Sean.
good part of the day, so definitely going to be doing good. Yeah, hey, guys, thanks for coming in. Cullen Smith, Calyx Genetics, what's up, brother? Good to see you. But, yeah, she's just a little droopy, but other than that, I think that she's going to look good. What do you guys think? Do you think that I should remove those lower branches, or do you think that they're exposed enough that I might get some non-larfy buds? What do you think? What do you think, Kim?
I never when I do an outdoor grow, I don't do any trimming at all.
No
because
lollipop?
Nope, I let it do its thing and let it just be a natural plant, and I always get good yields. But we have a lot of sun here. I'm in southern New Mexico. I'm in the desert. So it's hot, dry, and sunny. So I get plenty of penetration.
Grassroots says leave it. Rasta says chop them.
Oh, you get rid of them? Well, I mean, they are trained pretty well. They're pulling out nice. I don't know. I think I'm going to keep them.
Thank you, Terry, for tagging, guys. I do appreciate it. It really helps. You guys know the problems we have.
What's your thoughts, Waylon? I mean,
I think if you water it more, you wouldn't need to cut anything off because you're outside. I have mine outside too, and I looked at it and like, should I do any trimming on these? But no, I do cut off. I'll be honest. If there's some stuff on the bottom, which is like yellowing or something like that going on, I have pulled those off. But mine are a little farther in the flower, so that could just be like. Showing their colors, Easter Burns in the house. Heat has made that plant sad. Yeah, definitely sad. But yeah, I think you have a small enough pot though that you're gonna have to add water more often.
Yeah.
That's the problem. What you could do, SteveO, is you could set that pot in something like, say, a catch basin or something,
Okay.
and you could then leave the water in there, especially on the hot day. It'll dry up quick, but it will let it drink from the bottom, do a little bottom feeding.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a real good idea, especially for the next few days. It's a real good idea. Either that or just make sure that I drag my lazy ass outside.
Well, that's the other thing, but I mean, I still think giving it a little bit of extra, maybe nothing huge, just something with a little lip on it, little lid somewhere or something. What is
I
that
use
like? Go ahead.
I use 15 and 20 gallon grow bags, and I have those big what do you call those things that you put on the bottom? The trays,
Yeah, like a
Right.
catch
saucers,
tray, I guess.
Right.
saucers. Yeah, I use big saucers under mine so that it retains more moisture. Because otherwise, I'd have to water like 2 or 3 times a day here. And I don't have time for that.
Colin
Yeah.
says add microbes, and they help for water retention.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
What
Oh,
microbes
you
you
know what?
talking?
There's a supplement. I remember watching a Build a Soil, and he was talking about adding, I want to say it was aloe vera. There's like this stuff that he sells, that Build a Soil sells, that you can put in your soil that helps maintain or retain moisture. I want to say it was aloe vera.
Oh
I know
really?
perlite does too. Sean said. I knew that one was. I didn't know about microbes. Microbes is a good idea anyway, though, just for your conversion rates and stuff. Or purple Kush? You don't add purple Kush to the soil, can you? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Where are you at right now?
Be adding
Recharge.
purple kush to my
Yes,
pie.
I've heard that one.
He's recharged.
It's my choice for quickly delivering microbes. Yeah, recharge. I think Remo has some. There's different
Yeah,
ones.
Primo does definitely. Yeah.
What do you got here? Is this a picture of your thumb?
Oh no, this is my segue to the next part of the
Okay.
segment here. Also today, I want to give a shout out to my wife and my son. They both did me an immense favor today and came over. I know you guys hear me talking all the time, about how, a couple years ago my son moved in and everything got just thrown into my grow room as a storage room. So I've been a year late on growing. So basically, he came over, and between him and my wife, we got the room cleaned up pretty well, and I'm ready to start making plans to start another grow. And
Cool.
here's a little tour of it cleaned up.
Yeah.
There's just a little germination station that I have there. Those are the 2 hydro buckets that I'm going to run in my 4x4. This is a little dry tent. Usually I use it for a dry tent. I did run a bucket in that last time, but yeah, go USA. But yeah, there's and I got complete with my air conditioner. I've got a that's my fan and my filter set up. I've got the AC Infinity combo is what I run. I leave it out on the floor and I run the duct work just up over the top of the tent, coming right out of the top. It only has that one bend in it. And that fan is an 8-inch fan, so it's plenty powerful enough for that 4x4 to create enough negative pressure that it just sucks the fresh air in from the bottom vents and just pulls the crappy air from the top of the tent. So it doesn't have to kick on that long or that hard because I have the AC Infinity, the automatic controller with the humidity and the temperature probe. So
Run a tight ship, SteveO.
no, I mean it's not the most basic stuff, but at the same time it's nothing fancy. But I've had some success, but you know, growing is all about what you put into it. And I really have learned that because, uh, I've been screwing up by not taking care of my plants. So I see what the difference is between the way I used to take care of them and the way I do now. This is just basically some supplies. There's my spider farmer. That's a SF 4000 is what that is. It's good for a 5x5. That's the only one I run in there, and I get real good light penetration. The par is good, even in the corners, so it's not too bad.
San Fernando Valley OG Light, he said. Just kidding. Remember that strain? People are talking about strains they missed. Purple Kush.
But there you have the tour of the certified grow room at the compound at the certified house, guys. It's
Very
just,
nice,
it's a personal grow. It's a personal grow, not for sale or trade. It's medical for myself. And, I'm a little excited now because this is going to be something that's going to keep me busy during the winter. Hopefully, I can give you guys some good content and show you what I know, show you techniques that I'm going to start using that I've learned from you guys, all of you. And, I think it's going to be a good time. And back to you, Waylon.
For sure, bro. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful certified segment. I feel like you're going to be really happy having something right there available to work on, stay busy with. Having a grow room is a little bit more going on, but it's also much easier than getting outside in that heat as well.
Well, yeah, it's right across the hall from me, so
Yep.
There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to keep up with it and give me, something to look forward to every day and
Sure.
keep me on a better schedule. So anyway,
You might find out that it's just what you needed for sure.
Yeah.
Got a good comment here from Mr. Burns. What's up, Mr. Burns? Excellent. My favorite part about growing is trying to get the most out of the least. I could spring for fancier equipment, but where's the fun in that? Now,
Yeah.
to his point, though, there's a lot of alternate ways of doing things that you can look up. Like, for instance, if you don't have a humidifier, you could say get a towel wet and like hang it, or you can put it in different places. You have to be careful with that. You move it around, make sure it's not this big sopping wet mess in the floor.
Yeah.
But there's ways to do things naturally is all I'm saying. And so to his point, I try to do this. I want to know those things, Mr. Burns. I want to eventually have a whole section where it's all the nice, beautiful new equipment that's like pre-purchased and assembled and whatnot. But then also the side where I'm building it myself, which means I have to figure out the efficiencies and like what I could do differently. And in my head, that gives me perspective, which it makes me think, well, what if I do this? And comes create some sort of a new idea or a new method. So I do like that thinking for sure.
Yeah, I use a $35 reptile fogger, and I set it outside the tent, and I run the little hose into the tent, and you can literally see the fog coming out, the humidity. And before I did that, Waylon, to your credit, I used to hang a towel that was soaked in hot water on a hanger inside my tent, and that would work for sometimes 6 hours before I would have to change it out. So yeah, there's ways of doing things without spending that big money, guys.
For sure. Rasta says, glad you got your grow room back, brother. Will be great for this winter. Ronaldo says it's a nice grow. Looks great. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are thinking that you have a nice setup there, bro, for sure.
Thank you.
Hi, Valerie. Cheers, everybody. Let's see. Glass of 2 waters.
Take this certified
pad. Glass or 2 of water on the heating pad. That's a good one, too. Yeah, for sure. Dry ice works, too, Ronaldo. Man, it's got some good ideas up in here. But if you use your head and use what you got, doesn't it make you feel a whole lot better. Yeah, it makes you feel more accomplished for sure, Michelle. I agree for sure. But all right, guys, we put it off long enough. You know her, you love her. She's been around. She's a staple in the community now. Let's play it again. The legit bean review.
And we're not talking about the phony review. We're talking about legit as hell.
The legit bean review. Kim, how are you?
Yeah.
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. It's an episode 99. It's bittersweet, you know. I feel like for some reason 100 is really big, a big number to hit. That triple digit,
sure.
that triple digit, right? So
Yep.
doing well. So I'm glad to have you on for our, being so close to that. And also, we're glad to have you on People in the Boxes. I want to say that you definitely bring some an extra something to the table there, and we've been needing more female point of views, like we have Melanie, and we don't want to always bombard her with every female.
Yeah. We do that, don't we?
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to come every time, you can. As far as like everyone that we call co-host, like nobody's contracted to be there every time, so it's like if you're there, it's great, and it becomes some sort of like a bit of a tradition, I guess, for everybody that does it. So thank you again. But so Kim, grow knowledge. Like, I don't really know any of your background on grow knowledge. I mean, we know you're a teacher, we know you have skills, you have knowledge, but like what was it that you first started growing? Can you give us any background? Like, did you grow stuff as a kid? Is this something that you learned from your family? What's something? Let's hear it. What do you got for us?
So my earliest memories of growing anything were when I was really, really little. We lived when I was about 3, we lived on Antigua, which is an island in the Caribbean.
Oh,
Wow.
And I remember growing like flowers and stuff over there. And there was a man that lived there. His name was Mr. London. And I'm old now. I'm like really old. But I can still close my eyes and I can still see his face, and I remember when we moved back here I'm from Las Cruces, New Mexico, which is the southernmost part of New Mexico. We're on the border of Texas and Mexico down here. But I remember when we moved home to Las Cruces and telling my mom, we need to save seeds to send to Mr. London. So I have a very long history of gardening with my mom. Not as much my dad, but more my mom, because my dad was the worker, and stuff. But he did grow tomatoes and whatnot. I come from an agricultural family. My mom's family were farmers there in Illinois, and very much in the area where you're at.
Illinois.
Illinois. Yep. Illinois. I think it's probably actually Illinois because it's French.
Maybe.
But
Touche.
Yeah. But at least I don't say that S. I know better.
Illinois?
But
Illinois?
Illinois makes noise, Illinois.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So, but my dad's family were ranchers, and they farmed too, because if you ranched back in the day, you had to grow your own food and you had to grow fodder for your cows. So, but I've grown all my life, and my dad used to brag that I had a green thumb when I was like really little. He would introduce me to people and say, "This little girl has a green thumb. She can grow anything." So it's just something that I've always done. I've always had house plants. I love flowers. I like growing vegetables. So it's just something that I've always done.
So you have a garden right now, a vegetable garden?
Well, not this year. I ended up having to move in the beginning of June, and I knew I was going to have to move, and I knew that I was having surgery to fix the cartilage in my hip. So I knew that I was coming up on those things, and I knew that having an in-ground garden just wasn't feasible for me this year. So I have some eggplants and some different varieties of tomatoes, but they're all in big grow bags.
Right. Yeah, you could do a lot of little things, I guess, is
Yeah.
all. But, that's what I'm about encouraging anyway. It's like people, you don't have to, you can do what you can do, and that's all you can do, like, and people get discouraged thinking that there's all this other, this down the road, this bigger garden that you need to have or whatever. But, if it's in a coffee can on your windowsill, like, hey, that's that's my new philosophy anyway. Like, I'm trying to do that if I can. And like, I have limited light outside, but I'm still thinking of ways that I'm deciding on where I could build like an above ground grow bed if I, eventually anyway. So, but that's cool. So yeah, Rasta says that she knows Illinois if she pronounces it right.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you already read that. Oh, my bad.
It's funny. So
Yep.
what have you grown anything like what's the most interesting thing that you've grown, would you say? Cannabis is probably number one, but let's think of something outside of cannabis. Anything interesting, like anything weird? If you've grown like a banana tree or anything like that? That's a house. People keep those as house plants too. I want to see them have bananas on them.
Right. So I compost, but I compost in the soil usually. And so I will take like, I eat a lot of fruit. And so I'll just take the pits from my whatever it is that I've eaten and throw it out there in the compost. And so I've grown a number of fruit trees that way.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just throwing them out there and letting them do their thing. Avocado trees. The only thing is avocado trees don't survive the winter, so they'll grow and then they'll die over the winter, because they're a tropical.
Put them in a pot, bring them inside.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to have an indoor orchard one day.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. Not in my house because, not big enough. But eventually I'd love to have like an outbuilding that was just a big farm, Have a good night, Timothy. Thanks for coming by, brother.
Good night, Timothy. One of my goals before I get too old and I can't do anything anymore is to have a small farm, either several acres or a small farm. And I'd love to have a greenhouse, like a glass greenhouse, a real greenhouse, and, grow stuff in there. I don't know what, but, different things. I'd like to have a big garden, and I would like to have a small fruit orchard because I love growing things. I like growing plants. I love eating fruit, and I'm weird because I like green fruit. Like apricots.
Like oh, I thought you meant like not ripened yet.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Okay. I like apricots when they get to a certain greenness and they're sour as hell. And I'll sit there and I'll eat them and it doesn't make me sick. So, I'll eat them like that. I'm weird.
You ever had crab apples as a kid, SteveO or Kim? Crab apples. You ever find those? You're like, oh, there's this fruit we can eat. We actually had a bunch of cherry trees at our bus stop. Like at like this neighbor's house right there at the corner where we were at. And we at certain times of the year we just have a bunch of cherries to sit there eating. You got to be careful with those though.
Yeah, you do.
Or mulberries. Do you guys have mulberries where you're at? Those are everywhere.
Yeah,
and those are not. I like them.
I like mulberries.
Green ones would be really sour. Ooh.
I don't think I've ever had a green mulberry. I always get the ripened. I've always had them when they're ripe.
But Chris Fisher says, SteveO, I am banned in DM, so can't call you yet. That sucks, Chris, man. That's ridiculous. The platform wants to just do the most arbitrary things. It would be different if it was like a solid, you go to your account and like there's like a little message that tells you exactly what happened and why and what, and like and how long the issue is. It just none of it. It's just all like question marks. So I do feel for you, Chris. I sent you that. I wasn't joking when I gave you the referral to Mines because I tell you what, man, it's fun over there. I've been growing over there like crazy, and meeting new people and stuff. So it's fun. People can say whatever they want. It's not just whatever they want, but within legal limits at least.
Sure.
The problem is Facebook is so big that it has to abide by laws in other countries too,
If
which
Yeah.
is just the most confusing thing.
Sort of a following wheel, and Facebook's just going to buy them. So,
Oh, you think they're going to buy them?
if mine's got big, sure, or Facebook would just go in and buy them, so that
I don't know. It would be hard to do because I happen to know the people that like that started and built mines are definitely very, very against that, and they want it to be open source, fully decentralized type of a platform. So you never know. I always leave the option open that every platform that I use, because I think it's the best place for freedom of speech or whatever that is. Those are all, and any and all of them can be corrupted at some point when they get too big. It seems like once something gets too big, it gets corrupted. It's not just power corrupts. It's that when entities get so bloated, and that goes for everything. We've talked about it before, but we get off the topic now. But it just it's like anything that you can think of. When we went from needing like it being needed to being like finishing its task, and then now being so bloated and overextended that it's just corruption. Whatever it is, you can point to almost anything. It's crazy. And like the farm industry is another one. If we look at these big corporate farms and we don't like it, you still see that with smaller farms too now, where they're trying to keep up with the big guys. So they're taking on a lot of these practices that we don't necessarily want them to take on, but they got to compete. Or they take the money that they can't afford to not take the money for them to grow more corn and soybean and wheat and stuff that we don't need more of. They're being paid to grow more of livestock feed for
well,
us.
to take farmland that could be used for growing any kind of food, regardless of what it is, to take that land and, let's say, grow corn for biodiesel, or something like that, for a product that we don't necessarily need. I mean, to take our farmland that's our limited supply of farmland at that could be feeding the world. I think that's wrong. What do you think? I mean, am I just stoned or?
No, I agree with you. One of the biggest complaints that I have here in my community, this is a big farming community. I live in a fertile valley. There's a river that runs through the center of, from down the middle of the state, the Rio Grande River. And last Friday, I drove up to a little community just north of here to get some chili. And as I was driving the highway, I was looking out over the farmland, and I noticed how a lot of our farmland has housing developments on it now. We've had a large influx of people move here from California, and they're buying up our farmland, and it pisses me off to no end because, once you develop land for, home use, you put asphalt and concrete, it poisons the land. You put heavy metals and stuff into the soil, and it takes a long time and a lot of money to rehabilitate that soil in order for you to be able to grow on it again. And it just makes me mad because we have all this desert out here. It's like, go build out in the desert, quit taking up our farmland. And I really want to talk to our state leaders and say, hey, we need to do something to protect our farmland because everybody's building on it.
Yeah, and it's hard to it's hard for me because we've had this discussion with another guest we had that that said we need to revitalize the land, and I agree. But I also think that if, to your point, like you just said, if we can build more land, build more residential and more business buildings and whatnot, in the places where wouldn't be good farmland anyway, that would solve a lot of our problems. Where we want to build in the same places that the farmland, because most of the time people want to live where farmland is too, so it's the same
Yeah.
place. So that's why I come to the indoor farming. There's a lot of countries that don't have like farmland, or they don't have a lot of space, so they can't do both. So like you think like Norway and stuff, like I think they have a lot of indoor farms. They have they're stacked up vertically. And I understand that, the sun is powerful and it's where you want most things, but there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't need much light. Little greens. So you've grown house plants. Have you grown anything else inside? So sorry, SteveO, I see you got something to say there. Go
No, I'm just sitting here with my mouth open like an idiot.
ahead.
I tried. You're so funny.
Thank you.
I haven't grown any like food stuff on the inside. I've started avocados inside. I don't know. You can grow hydroponically. So I've started avocado plants inside.
Ooh, I need to do that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Other than that, I tried growing cannabis inside last year. I had like 4 or 5 tents that I set up inside the
Wow.
house, and I didn't like it. I just
Huh.
I don't. I'm so
Maybe
used to
it's not
growing
necessary.
outside.
Yeah, because if you do a big enough harvest in the summer, you don't. Maybe it's not needed. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, part of the reason why I did it was I was stupid. I'm a Sagittarius, and so I have a very big picture. Like I have very grand ideas for things. So I'm a big thinker. And so I'm like, ooh, I'm going to breed this and I'm going to do all of these things. And then I ended up I have like 40 plants, 40 cannabis plants right now. And by law, I'm only allowed to have 12. And I have a state police officer that lives directly behind me. And I have a sheriff's deputy that lives like 3 houses down. So it's like I sit here every day and go, oh, gosh, this is an interesting thing to be involved in. But, I have all of these plants and, I just took on way too much with it. And it was overwhelming to try and do it inside. And then I got a mite infestation or spider mite infestation. And and I ended up moving everything outside and spraying it down to get rid of the spider mites and just left it outside to grow, and I have beautiful healthy plants now, and I didn't have that with my indoor grow. So I don't know how to grow indoors. I don't know how to grow cannabis indoors, should I say. And so I like to be successful in what I do, and it bothers me when I'm not being successful with a living thing because I feel responsible for it. So
Sure.
Growing indoors for me for cannabis is not something that I'm interested in doing again anytime soon.
May I suggest that possibly, I might be off base here, but possibly you tried too many right off the bat.
Yeah, I did.
I was overwhelmed with 8, and
Yeah.
I have 2 right now, and I'm like, I have issues here and there. So,
William, you kind of had a little bit of a heart attack for a minute last year over how many plants you had to trim. You were at it for like almost a month before you were done trimming, I think.
at least,
you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine doing it on that level. Although, if you have the funds, like I'm wearing a shirt right now, trim bag.
Yeah.
Look at the back of this.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Joe uses
I
a
don't
trim
even have
bag.
a trim bag, but Joe, I know, yeah, Joe uses one.
Joe swears by his, don't you, Joe? Are you here, Joe?
I think so. Yeah, I love it. I love it. We got 17 people still hanging out, guys. Thank you for hanging out.
Yeah.
And there's not a ton of commenting because people they're listening to the show. Like that's the difference between a show and a live stream, a streamer or a live stream. That's more like we're waiting for a comment in order to like say anything. Like that's not this. So thank you guys for sure.
And you
guys
can
are
listen as well as watch. You know, it's almost like you could set your phone down and listen. You know, and then we'll let you know, hey, there's something to look at. You know,
check
something.
this out.
Yeah, check this out. Or
For
whatever.
sure. Well, speaking of check this out, do you have any? I guess it might be too dark at this point, but if you have, do you have like a house plant nearby? Let me see. You have anything for us to see?
Oh, you see my plant?
Yeah, show us
plants. Yeah,
Sweetie,
let me see something.
I have about I literally have like 200 plants.
Wow.
Don't show us all the incriminating stuff. Just give us one or two. That's good.
Exactly.
Well, it's dark right now, so let me see
That's
what
okay.
I can do.
No big deal. You can.
Is it really hot by you, or are you staying?
Oh hell yeah! It was 97 degrees today, but that's down from 116. So.
Oh boy.
So I'm out here on my patio.
Oh wow.
And
well, let's pull you up.
Oh wow.
If you could turn your phone to the side, it would actually make your screen bigger, but I could turn your phone
like
sideways. Yeah. Well, it doesn't.
She's got her screen locked.
Got your screen locked, I think. Oh, sorry. You know,
she hit the button.
I take a chance telling people to mess with that. You know. We got Big SteveO. You guys see that sign he's got behind him there?
Should I touch the button on my phone and
that's
turn
okay.
everything
Here,
on?
I'll just put me up here until we get. So we're talking about your screen is locked right now to where it won't go full screen.
Is it a Samsung, or is it an Android phone?
Yeah, I have an Android.
Oh, you can just swipe down from the top, and it'll have the screen lock. You can turn it on or off. It'll show like a rotating thing, like a phone rotating deal.
She's frozen. I saw her front porch though, man. It was all green. Oh, you're back now. You're back.
Can you see me?
Yep. Did you unlock it?
Did I unlock what?
Your screen. Your screen is locked so it doesn't go full screen when you turn it sideways.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
If you just swipe down from the top, you'll see across the top, it'll have like looks like a phone with a rotating thing. That's the screen lock. You just tap that and you'll turn it off.
Like that?
Now turn your phone sideways.
There you go.
Look at
Bingo.
that. There you go. Now we can see even more and better. And
that's
whatnot.
way better. Yeah.
Yes. Look at that, everybody. Wow.
So I have like a lot of hibiscus. I probably have about 100 hibiscus plants. Most of them are Cajun hibiscus, which are super fancy.
Much gooder, Rhino says.
Much gooder.
Cajun hibiscus plants. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Like they'll have multiple colors in the petals, and nothing is blooming right now because I haven't had time to feed them.
Mm-hmm. You prefer pots, obviously.
I prefer terracotta.
Terracotta, that's what it is. Forgive my ignorance on that. Yeah.
Like clay pebbles.
It's so I use soil and terracotta. Terracotta breathes, whereas plastic or ceramic pots do not, and it's less stress on the roots. So they grow better with terracotta.
It's a porous material, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I have some ceramic pots like, let me see if I can get down here. Wait, where am I? So.
Well, that's cool.
Oh, that's neat. Look at that. That's artistic.
Yeah, these are Talavera art. So this is Mexican art. And I love my terracotta. So I don't know.
That's cool. There's a bunch of them. Yeah, we're seeing them. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of those, but those plants, I don't.
Kim's a plant lady. I didn't know.
Yeah, who would thunk?
I'm a plant hoarder. I have a bunch, God, and that's not even my girls. My girls, God, I don't know if I can get out here if you guys can see those.
You live out
It's
in the
okay if
heat in the desert, right?
I
So,
do.
do you have any cactus plants?
It's funny because my last house that I was renting, I had cactus plants and they started sprouting babies, and I didn't want to leave them behind because I knew that the people, that I didn't feel like anybody would take care of them. So I have some that I dug up. They were little baby ones, and they're
Okay.
in here, and I'm planning
Here,
on,
here.
as soon as it cools down, I'm planning on putting them out in the front yard because my front yard is rock-scaped. Like I have gravel and stuff for rock-scaping.
Yeah, they like that. I think,
Yeah,
don't they?
sure.
Rocky soil.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I have, and it was a pain when I moved because like I had 2 flatbed trailers to move all of these plants. I didn't move my girls that way, but all of these plants, we put them on flatbeds, like 20-foot trailers.
Wow.
So I had enough plants that it filled 2 flatbed trailers.
Oh boy.
Holy cow.
And
How
that's
did
just
you how did you tie them down? Like they just were tied in next to each other enough that
Yeah. We fit them like where they wouldn't move around. And my friend that pulled the trailer, he pulled it slow enough that they wouldn't wind whip,
wow.
so it didn't
I
damage
tried
them.
that once and they got wind whipped like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, we drove like 30 miles an hour because I followed behind him.
How far that was that trip?
It was a straight shot of about maybe 5 miles. And it was through a residential area. So you couldn't go, you weren't supposed to go over 35 miles an hour. So, but yeah. But my girls, my son brought those. He put them in the back of his minivan, and he made like 4 trips because I have a lot of girls.
Yeah,
they were all
that would
5
be even
feet
more. Yeah.
Yeah. Like right now, even my indica dominant stuff, or my stuff that's looks more indica, they're 5-foot plants. I have huge plants. All of my sativa are over 6 feet, and my indicas are bushy and about 5 feet tall. So,
5
but it's
feet.
yeah,
Those are all in pots above ground?
Yeah, they're all in grow bags.
Rasta says, I just tried to mute my screen before I coughed.
Yeah,
That's okay.
Whenever I'm watching it live, especially like before I come up on Wheeling Wednesday and I'm watching you on Girl Fam, I'm sitting there and everything that's happening or whatever, I'm doing the same thing, thinking that I'm on camera, and I'm just like, oh shit.
I have that happen a lot when I pop in a live, just a regular live stream, especially if it's people that I typically am up on screen with.
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh. Have you ever answered your phone? You ever answered someone while they were live when you weren't on their live stream?
Yes, many times.
Yeah.
Yep. You were on with Jason the other day, and you asked him something, and I answered it. Yeah. I remember specifically doing that the other day, actually.
Wow. So Kim, you're much more extensively into plants than I thought. So
Yeah.
I am pleasantly surprised. I will say that much. But yeah, that is a lot that I did not expect it. SteveO, did you know she was like El Chapo over there at the Kim's Desert plant?
A little bit, because I have seen some of her lives in the Legit Bean Review, which if you guys all want to check that out.
I gotta find out if I'm in that. Yeah, guys.
You're in it. You're in it.
Yeah, you're in my. One
guess
of
I just
one
have
of your
too much.
accounts is in there.
Right now, we're streaming live to her group right now.
Oh, are we?
Yeah,
Yay!
No, we're not. No, we're
everybody.
not.
Yeah, we are. I shared
Not
it.
on my screen.
I
Oh, you
shared
shared
it.
it there. Okay. So we're
Yeah,
not streaming in
everybody
the group. It's just shared there. Yeah.
in the legit Bean review. What's up? Shout out. But yeah,
Shout out to my fam.
yeah, that's what's up.
How long have you had that group?
I
2.1
started
thousand
it
members.
in March. I went to the Earl Cup in Phoenix, or the Phoenix area. I'm trying to get some light so you can see. You can't see my girl.
I just joined the group.
Oh, I thought you were already in there. We've been through this
Waylon,
already.
the indoor farmer, might be in there, and I will confess, I don't
maybe
go
that's
over to
it.
that. I don't go over to my page very often. I'm usually on my
Same.
profile,
I don't go to
so
my
I'm not
page
seeing
much.
when that happens. So there we go.
So I went to the Earl Cup like around the 10th of March, and I came back and I had started this Facebook page, and I didn't like it because it's not private, and I don't like people. I'm a teacher, so I have to be careful with stuff. And
Understand?
I couldn't keep it private, and I didn't want my business out there. So that's when I decided to start a page. And so that's what I did. I started a page. So you can see some of my plants back there. I have a poinsettia back
Oh, yeah.
there.
See,
I have a couple of orchids. One of my orchids, let's see if I can get it over here.
I see it. That's a very interesting banner that you have over the window. Can we see
Oh,
that?
my grow fam?
Oh, grow fam, you
Well,
say?
what?
I hear
Wow,
good
that's
things. I
pretty
hear good
nice.
things.
Yeah, and I have my Air Force flag back here.
Nice.
Oh, thank you for your service, Kim. We
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks,
it.
Kim. Thanks
You're
for
welcome.
eating caviar and lobster and on your breaks from running 200 yards is I think their PT test. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know. We have it.
Shots
We had it
fired.
easier, but I will tell you when we had exercises, they had us to. I'm going to show you my orchid. One of my
I like
orchids is
it.
blooming.
Oh, looks special. It's
Yeah,
doesn't
I've
bloom
had-
very fast or very
Yeah.
often.
No, they don't. And you have to feed them every so often so they'll bloom.
Well,
But
the air.
I don't have that many indoor plants because I don't really have a lot of
Okay.
sunlight. So
You know what I want is I want to try. I want to again. I did it once, but I want to try more carnivorous plants. That's fun. Let
yeah,
them eat
those
the
are cool.
flies.
I
Eat all
would
the flies, the bugs.
I think I would like to do carnivorous plants like to how do you say it? Like in my places where I want to control bug populations in my plants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fly
like
traps and stuff.
yeah, like Venus flytraps, Jack
There's
in the
two of
Pulpit.
them. Yeah, there's a fly trap, and then there's the other one.
What's
Where's
the
the
other
other
one?
name of it? But yeah, it just becomes like a big old
Yeah.
like a sack that they just land inside of and they get stuck. Much love,
Yeah.
everybody. All right, Kenny. You're watching TV right now. You can put us right up on the TV on YouTube, on Twitch,
Yeah, on
Twitter,
YouTube.
Rumble, Locals. Not Locals. We're on Kick. I did. He's not here anymore. Timothy did send me a good question earlier.
Mhm.
He said he wasn't seeing any notifications when I go live on Locals. That's because I haven't been live on Locals in a couple weeks, guys. I do have the chance to go live for 2 hours at a time now, but I just feel like I don't know why I would yet. Like there's not necessarily a reason for it yet. I'm not exercising for 2 hours. I'm sorry. That's just
See,
not
time
gonna
is
happen.
so precious due to the fact that we have so much time invested in doing at least 5 shows a week, as it is.
Oh yeah.
I only have Saturday nights off.
It's
That's
hard. It's hard to decide which thing to push more effort into. And
Mhm.
Kim, I mean, let's ask you, like, what is it? How do you prioritize? Because being a teacher, being a plant lady, the cannabis plants being a separate thing, basically altogether, and then you have everything else that you
family
do. So
and everything else.
running a group and stuff. So what is it that helps you prioritize? Are you just like a up and at 'em early morning? You make lists. What is it that you do?
I don't make lists. I don't know. Like being a teacher, I'm very, during the school year, I'm very structured, because like my day from like 8 o'clock until 3:30 is planned for me. So, and the time outside of those hours is the time that I have to do whatever I need to do, during the day, throughout the day when I have moments of free time, I check in with my group. I go through and make sure that, nobody's trying to scam, check my moderation alerts and all that junk. I go through my posts periodically throughout the day, because I want eyes on every single comment in my group. And I like to, I like to personally welcome people into my group. So like I'll post out my welcome posts, and then whoever comments on there, thanks or whatever, a new member, then I personally go in and welcome them. Because that's just how I am. And I like to talk to people. I'm a very connected person. I'm a relational person. So I do things by building relationship with people. So I'm very personal like that. And so those are just things that I do. And that's, and I just, I try to hit everybody. And then, when I get out of work, it's a mixed bag of coming home and doing chores. I have 4 cats, and they're like having 4 hairy toddlers. They need their love and attention too. I have very affectionate cats because I'm very affectionate with my cats. So, I don't know. I don't really do things by list. I do it by the things that need my attention the most. And then whatever energy I have left over after my responsibilities are taken care of is where I use it to do things. Like I happened to get off work today a little early. I came home. I'm still unpacking from my move that I had right before my surgery. And so today I came home and I rearranged stuff in my garage and put stuff away and kind of organized in there because I have a home gym that I purchased during the pandemic, and I haven't been able to use it because of my hip injury. And my surgeon told me last Friday that I could start working out again. He gave me, I can't fully work out, but he told me what I could do.
Sure.
So I went out there and I organized all my stuff so that I can use my, put my treadmill down and use my treadmill and, whatever out there. And that was what my physical energy that I had left over for the end of the day was able to do. And then I had to water my plants and feed my cats and, all the other junk that I needed to do.
How many
Clean
cats
litter
do you
boxes.
have?
I have 4. I have the crazy
Holy cat
starter
lady!
pack. Yes, I have the
You're a
crazy cat
plant-
lady starter pack.
You're a plant cat lady.
I'm an animal person. I've had snakes and lizards and turtles and horses and guinea pigs and chickens. I've had all kinds of stuff as pets. I like animals.
Have you had fish?
I've had fish. I've had birds.
Okay, what kind of fish have you had? Let's get down to the nitty gritty here. Aquariums or
The coolest fish that I've had was
Valerie
a
has
ghost
4 cats?
fish. I think it was a ghost. No, it was a knife fish. That fish was super duper cool. It was long. It was about, I don't know, 3 inches long maybe. And it was a real dark brown. And it had 2 dorsal fins right by its, what do you call it? Its gills. But its main fin that it had that, allowed it to move was a long fin it was along its entire body.
Huh.
Just one long fin.
Yeah, I think I've
And
seen that.
yeah, they're super cool. And then the second coolest fish that I had, and I had them all at the same time, but were coolie loaches. And they were these little teeny tiny, about that long, maybe a couple of inches at the longest, eel looking fish, but they were black and yellow striped or gold striped.
Oh.
And their little mouths had little hair things, kind of like catfish do, but it had more little hair things. They looked like little Chinamen to me.
Uh-huh.
And
wow.
they were super cool. They were they looked kind of like little tiny eels, and so they were cool.
So they're like elongated, kind of.
Yeah, real long, skinny little things, but they're only about maybe a couple of inches long.
Interesting.
But I've had all kinds of fish. You got your algae ears, your Placlostomus.
Did you ever have them grow you some food?
No, I did not.
See, that's that. I never had an aquarium for pets or for fun.
Yeah.
Until I decided to do this. So I always like to talk to those that have had them in the normal sense, where you had filters and all the stuff. You don't have to do that if you have a setup and you can buy like store-bought setups that go right over the top of your aquarium. Although they don't sit on your aquarium. You don't want to put any weight on the aquarium itself. I've learned because of the structural integrity of that thing while it's full of water and stuff. But that's cool. You had a lot of exotic, different fish. Did you have freshwater or did you have saltwater at all?
Saltwater's too hard.
Hard, yeah. I hear it's hard. Yeah.
Where's Mina? This is Mina.
Oh.
Hello, Mimi. She's my old cat. She's 16 or 17. Yeah. The others are all they're around. It's too hard to position the camera, but those are my babies.
Okay.
That's what I come home to. They're super affectionate too. Like Mina, she is a human person or a human cat. She does not like the other animal. She does not like any other animal, and she gets nasty with them. But she's like a Velcro cat to humans, especially to me because I'm mama. But she's like a piece of Velcro sticking to you. She's funny.
I had a sort of a feral, sort of primal kind of cat. Not feral, but like very primal, like very like stalking around, very like skittish to people that he didn't know.
Yeah.
Had him for 17 years. A cat named Buddy, if you'll believe that. His name was Buddy.
Good night, Michelle. Thanks for coming. She says good night to you, Kim.
Good night, Michelle. See you next time.
Or actually, she was saying hello earlier.
Oh, she's saying hello? Oh.
And now she's saying
hello, goodbye.
Nice to see you.
You say hello.
Enjoy your winnings.
I have two of my girls inside. I'm trying to get them to re-veg.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, okay. That's fun. I would like to try that too, to get the re-veg to happen.
Yeah, I have two of them. I've got, what is this? This one back here is Willy Wonka, the tall one. And then this other one is number one Stunna. I got that.
Wait, don't go anywhere. Can we see your light real quick?
I thought about that too. I was like, what she got going on?
Can I see the grow light? Yeah, I want to see that.
Okay, it's a 2 foot.
Oh, okay.
2 foot
LED.
by one LED, yep.
It's a full spectrum.
Yeah, Mars Hydro.
Mars Hydro, okay.
Right on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Didn't want you to get too far away before you.
Yeah, and then I've got two other ones that I brought inside to bring into re-veg as well. I want to breed them, so I'm trying to get them to pollinate so that I can cross. Well, I want to make Willy Wonka seeds, so that Willy Wonka is going to seed itself. But
what's so special about Willy Wonka? What do you like about it?
So I went through a period about a year ago where I couldn't sit down. Well, I could sit down, but standing up hurt really bad. It felt like a shot of lightning going through my hip. Yeah. So I wasn't real keen about sitting down because it hurt to stand up like really bad. And so this friend of mine came over one day and brought another friend, and we were smoking. And I liked the high that I got off of it. I giggled a lot.
Oh.
So, so I liked it. I liked the high, but the thing that I liked was that for about 4 hours, I didn't have any nerve pain. It knocked whatever it is about that strain, like knocked the pain out.
Willy Wonka, you say?
Willy Wonka weed. And there's 2 ways to breed it to get it. One of them is crossing, what do I cross? Sweet Tooth and Willie Nelson. And the other one is to cross Chocolate Trip. I can't remember what the other cross is. That's the original one that came out of Spain. I can't remember what you have to cross it with, but Chocolate Trip is one of the, and you can't find the Chocolate Trip seeds. I lucked out and got with, there's a guy called Beyond Hype. He's a breeder, and he happened to have some, so I bought them from him. So, but I'm growing the Willy Wonka and the Sweet Tooth. And I think the Willy Wonka is, and it's re-vegging, so I'm like, yay! So I got some, so let me turn my sideways thing back on.
It should still be on. Yeah, there you go.
So I believe the Willy Wonka is this shorter plant back here.
Oh, that looks great. Nice and healthy.
Yeah.
Where are you at? Just about to start the pre-flower, probably?
Well, she had started to flower on me, and I brought her.
Re-vegging.
And I have Moto Breath back here.
It's hard to see there.
Yeah, this one's had a lot of problems. It got really, both of them got hit really bad with the, what do you call it? The spider mites. But I've really struggled with this poor Moto Breath. That's this one that's right here. This is.
What are you doing for mitigation?
Well, what do you mean?
Like what kind of preventative treatments, or what are you using? Lost Coast plant therapy? Are you using? Are you doing a foliar spray? What are you doing to try and keep the bugs away?
Well, I got the bugs. I got the spider bite infestation is done and over with. I had done a big treatment, and it didn't really work. They came back with a vengeance. So that's when I took everybody out and I hosed them down. So
just with water?
Yeah, with just water. And that's what I do. I had an evergreen. I had a, what do you call it? An Italian cypress that was being killed by spider mites. And I went out every day and I hosed that damn tree down. And then I would spray it with stuff for spider mites like once a month. And I brought
that's
the tree
the part
back.
I'm asking you about, though. What's the stuff once a month?
Yeah.
I'm not using stuff once a month now. I just brought these guys back inside about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. So
well, you better keep an eye on it, like real close. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know, and I do. What I'm hoping to do is to quickly, they're starting to re-veg. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of new growth on them.
You want them to re-veg?
Yes, I do, because I want them to re-veg so that I can spray
Push
them.
out.
Yeah. Well, no, so that I can
too,
spray them with reversal spray.
I see.
Yeah. So this Moto Breath, I'm going to spray part of it, and then I'm going to let it flower. I'm going to let it pollinate itself. This Willie Nelson back here is starting to re-veg. And I'm going to spray it, and then I'm going to put it with the Sweet Tooth that's outside flowering.
To make the Willy Wonka. Okay, so that's Willie Nelson back there. Got it.
Yes.
All right.
You're talking about colloidal silver then?
Yes, colloidal silver. I bought some STS spray from Leaf Cycle.
Okay, I was just going to say, we have a fine show sponsor that has pouches and
Yep.
also the deodorant or the not the I keep saying deodorant stick, the pest stick, the deterrent sticks.
Perimeter
Stick. That's it. What's the thing name? Yes, leafcycle.net. Everybody, check them out. We'll pull you back down here, Kim. All right. Well, it's been interesting.
Hang on. Let me tell you what my deal is with this. So
Okay.
this is the #1 stunner back here. This one right here.
Oh yeah.
And I'm trying to get her to re-veg. They came in about a week or so after the other ones did. And I'm starting to see where she's starting to flower again. So she should start re-vegging here, in the next week, I think. I'm going to spray her and let her give me seeds on her. I'm not going to breed her. I just want to get seeds because it's a #1 stunner. Have you seen the price of those things? The seeds for that are like $300 or $350. Now this one, yeah, exactly. So this very tall one back here, this is a Willy Wonka. And I'm so proud of this plant because she nearly died. I lost her sister. Her sister died. The spider mites killed her. This one, and I can't get it down at the bottom, like half the plant died, but I mean, she came back with a vengeance and she's beautiful. Like she's tall. She's over 6 feet tall, or she's about 6 feet tall now. But I'm going to spray her and let her seed herself so that I can get Willy Wonka seeds off of her. In addition to breeding the Willie Nelson and the Sweet Tooth to get the Willy Wonka. That's my goal.
Interesting.
Wow.
That's
got
really
a lot going on there.
Yeah, I mean, the more and more people that I meet in this community, Waylon, you might agree, the more people I meet are into breeding. I was surprised when I met Hobbies and he told me he was into breeding. I knew he'd be perfect for the community. Now Kim is into breeding. It's like, I don't know. It's not something that I've ever thought of doing because I just feel like I have to still concentrate so hard just to have good plants.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be a while before I worry about that too, just because I seem to be able to get the seeds, and I know so many people that make them. So it's like I feel like I'll just patron, but it does seem like a good knowledge to have for sure.
I'm super picky about what I use though, like like the Willy Wonka. That's what started me off on this journey. I was looking for Willy Wonka weed and I couldn't find it. It's an old strain. And so the actual seeds itself to it are few and far between. And it's obscure people that actually have them. And my whole idea for starting the group that I started came from me getting screwed over by somebody that was selling me clones for Willy Wonka that screwed me. And it made me mad because I hate liars. You lie to me and I'll get you for that. So, it's just one of those things. So that's kind of the idea of why I started my group the way I did, was to have a place for people to come to find legitimate breeders and stuff, people that were trustworthy,
So I gotta ask, like, when you smoke with the Willy Wonka, do you just think of Gene Wilder? Just like smiling. If you stole fizzy lifting drinks. All right, I'm done.
You're funny.
A child favorite. Well, see, that's one of the images I have in my head of like an indoor farm one day, in the image of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Everything. It's like this big open room where imagine like an old Kmart or Walmart building that's not being used anymore or something like that, and you just have a field of an orchard of fruit trees, you have aquaponics farms, maybe there's a soil farm in there. All these different things could be all inside of this place one day, and it would be a virtual candy land of plants. So we'll see. Maybe
That's
one day.
cool.
But with that being said, guys, we are coming up on that 2-hour mark here in a minute, in about 8 minutes, guys. It's been a good show. Kim, thank you. You're a veritable wealth of knowledge in a lot of ways. So I'll be looking forward to seeing how those plants turn out for sure. And maybe we'll get some of those expensive beans you said, or just crazy price or something.
They're crazy price. They're relentless genetics. That's why relentless genetics is like one of the, I don't know, they're highfalutin. But, they got good shit. So, yeah. But I was lucky because there's a guy here in New Mexico, up in Albuquerque, which is a 4-mile drive from me, up north. His name is New Mexico Greenfire. And he's a long time, good old school hippie breeder. And we were talking, and I mentioned to him that I would die for some cuttings. And he's like, well, just come on up. I'm going to cut some off my plants soon, and, I'll give you some cuttings. So I drove up to Albuquerque one weekend, and I got the cuttings of the, what do you call it? The #1 stunna. I got them from him, and I got the Moto Breath. He gave me a Moto Breath as well. So they're off of his plant. And I think I want to say he got, his were clones from Relentless. I can't remember if their clones were seeds.
Yeah,
but
that's
anyway,
one thing that you got to be worried about too. The clones after clone after clone after clone. You got to be careful. But
yeah. So, but so I'm excited because I'm going to get seeds, and I'm going to do the process of stabilizing the genetics on it. So.
Uh-oh. I think I'm frozen. Yeah, I'm frozen. Why am I frozen?
You're froze?
I think he is.
Ah,
and he's back.
And he's back.
Back in the saddle. What's up, Mike Hood? We're just about to be finished anyway, brother. Thanks for stopping through.
What's up, Mike? How's it going, buddy?
Mike.
Well, fellas, keep up the great work. Thanks, Mike. Have a great night at work, my friend. Mike Hood with Misfit Island guys, Misfit Genetics.
Misfit Island, y'all.
But yeah, anyway, we are at that time again, guys. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, please hit those reactions over there on the Kick. If you're finding us on Kick, follow us. If you're going to go check out Kick, follow us there. Follow Siir SteveO on Locals, guys. Definitely, if you're already a Locals member of mine, go find him there too. And we're gonna have a good show for you tomorrow. I have a double review. I have 2 different stores to review tomorrow, and some products to check out as well. So check that out. And before we leave, I'm gonna play that ad one more time for your CBD store, and then SteveO. What are we doing? What are we doing after that? It's bedtime. Put me to bed.
Well, like always, we say goodnight, and then we remember, smoke weed every day.
Good night, everybody, and make sure you go follow Kim and go get in her group, the Legit Bean Review, everybody.